Hey everyone, welcome back to a new Wizard101 video. I'm going to be looking at the new Hatchmaking Kiosk today because out of everything in this update, this was the one part of Test Drum that I was super excited to see what would happen when it got to live realm. So I'm going to be looking through that, giving you guys some tips on how to use it successfully, because as of right now there's a lot of pets in the kiosk, and if you're just starting out with a pet that might not be the best, it's going to be difficult to know where to look, because the Hatchmaking Kiosk is not that organized. You kind of have to know what you're already looking for beforehand. So don't just go in there and hatch with whatever pet looks good. I'm going to tell you which ones are probably going to be the best for you, because I'm sure if you look hard enough you'll find it. But here we go. I'm going to also be offering some pets of my own in this video, so you guys will be able to see the name of my pet and what type of pet it is and all that stuff, and look for it yourself so you can hatch for it too. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put in my leaf foots because they're crowns only, which is kind of annoying. My best pets of my life are both leaf foots, and I can't put them into the pet hatchery, or the Hatchmaking Kiosk. But whatever. So I haven't offered any pets yet, that's why I have no of the hatching peppers. But if you go over to browse, this is basically the whole menu system of every pet that they have in here. Not Crown's pets. They were testing Crown's pets on the test drum. I don't know if they added any in onto this one. I remember one of them was the red panda, so I'm just gonna look quick for that. I think it was balanced. I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe that's something that they'll add in later on with the Crown's pets. But to hatch with a Crown pet, you need to. Oh wait, this one's a Crown pet. Yes. I guess it's just, maybe they do have some Crown pets in here. So if you were to hatch with this one, for instance, Armadillo, then you would have to hatch with gold and crowns. And obviously I don't have any crowns because I spent them all in my last video, which was the pack opening. So go go check out that if you want to see me spend all my crowns on one pack. But I guess there are some select crown pets. I really want them to add the leaf foot. I think that would be awesome if they did that. And but as of right now, they don't have that. So whatever. But when you arrive in the Hatchmaking Kiosk, this is the menu system for browse. It's not the best. It says browse by type. I mean, I don't even know what that means. This doesn't really help too much. Browse by pedigree. I'm not sure if this is even working correctly. Like, it just brings you to a pickle page. So I'm not sure what these two options are doing, but I definitely could see them adding in better filter options. All my mouse must be ending right now. My timed mouse from the pack opening yesterday. But there's no real filtering for pets by what talents they have, or by I mean, there is by school, and by type, like the type of pet, but there's no filtering in terms of the actual, like, what the pet is. Is it a ward pet, you know, because a lot of people are going for certain pets based on what they need and based on what they're looking for in the pet, which is a ward pet with these wards, a critical pet with damage and crit for this school, and a triple double, which is like a basic good pet. So we're just gonna look through that and see if we can find any. My one tip when starting out is to look for the hybrid pets for the school that you want. I feel like that's a good starting point, and there's a couple of them that you can go off of. If you're death, you can go for the Acid Rancor. This one gives the Death Blade and a couple other spells that could be nice, and you just need to look for a pet that would be good for you. And if you're leveling, triple double is always good. That's the one that I use on my death currently. Let's see if I can find the Death Dactyl. I'm hoping that's not a crown pet, because I actually have no. Okay, it's not. So Death Dactyl, if you want the same pet that I use in the walkthrough, then you go to Death Dactyl and you would look for one that has a triple double. This one is not triple double. Also, mine is 10 dealer, so keep that in mind. If it's 9 dealer, then that's not a complete max stat pet. And I've seen some max stat pets in here. People put them in here. So you would just have to go through the list and try to see if you can find any triple double. I'm avoiding all these ones with critical because I feel like there's a lot. That one's not. It has a heal. So it might take a little bit of time just to kind of filter everything and go through it and see if you can find it. Here we go. This is this is a good one. Okay. So right here, Mr. Roxy, this is a Death Dactyl that is max stat because it has 10 dealer, it has 7% pain giver, and 10 proof, 5 to 5. You know, that's pretty basic. But if you see a 10 dealer, this is a pretty good pet. This is basically what I use on the walkthrough for that pet. So if you want that exact pet, this is the one you would go for. You would hatch with that and hope that you would get decent talents off it. I feel like for people that have never hatched before, just doing like 1 or 2 hatches with a pet like this would help you so much. Trust me, in the past, there's no way that, I mean, unless you know the person, you know, personally, there's no way that you would be able to get a pet like this to hatch with, because people just wouldn't do it. People just wouldn't hatch with this type of pet with someone that they didn't know and that didn't have a good starter pet to go off of, or if they didn't want something out of it themselves. Like, I don't know, maybe you had to pay for it with empowers or crowns items or something. But here we go, Hatchmaking Kiosk. One of the really good pets is right here. So there you go. That's just an example with the Death Dactyl. But there's other pets. If I was on my Storm and I was looking for or say I'm a Storm Wizard and I'm looking for a decent Storm pet, I would look at the ones that I currently have in my Storm. If I didn't have them, I'd look at the Rancor and see if I can find a Rancor. Rancor is going to be right here. I'd look at Rancor, and I would also look at the Clamoring Gulcher, which is right here. So let's look at Clamoring Gulcher. The ones that are hybrids, you can hatch and train on a different school. The Rancor, though, you would have to be Storm in order to train it. So keep that in mind. Here is a Ward Clamoring Gulcher. So this is what I'm saying. I just want there to be options for finding pets like these easier. Maybe they could have a system that checks to see, like, okay, if it has 3 wards, it's probably a ward pet or something like that. Or at least just put them all in kind of the same area so you could look. But straight up, this is a ward pet that gives balance ward, ice ward, fire ward. So pretty good, pretty high stats too. It has 15%. I don't even have a ward pet on my life. I don't have one. I've never had one. I mean, it makes sense though, because I'm a life wizard, so I go for like the healing ones, but I don't have like a full ward pet like this. So that was only the first one I looked at. And then you can look through, and I'm sure there's plenty of other options. If we could find a triple double, this one is critical with fairy. I wouldn't really want fairy, but this one is 2 crit and damage. See if we can find a triple double in here for the Gulcher. I don't even have triple double on my Gulcher. I have the crit and damage on mine, but I'm sure there's a pet like that in here somewhere. I feel like the Gulcher is going to have a lot of the... That's a 10 dealer. I feel like the Gulcher is going to have a lot of critical talents on these. So here we go. This is a double damage, triple crit, which I'm pretty sure is what my Gulcher is on my Storm. So there you go. This is a good pet. You could hatch with that, you know, and start raising your stats, start going for good talents like that. And if you have your own Gulcher, then you could keep hatching with it to get the Gulcher back, and there you go. I mean, you're on the right track to getting a good pet. So that's why I like the Hatchmaking Kiosk. I think it's really good, and I feel like it's going to help people a lot with getting good pets. So what I'm going to do is offer the only pet that I really can on this character, and that is Sasha. I'm not going to offer Xena because I feel like no one would care about that pet, but Sasha I'm going to offer. She has the healing talents and fairy, battery. I mean, it's pretty good. It's a pretty good pet. So you offer it like that, and then you can manage pets. You can see your pet here, and it has 1 week to stay in the kiosk, or unless 10 people hatch with it. So Sasha, my Dryad, is in there if people want to hatch with it. Once this video goes up, you'll be able to see it in the Hatchmaking Kiosk unless 10 people hatch with it. If 10 people hatch with it, I'll look at putting it back into the kiosk if I can. But yeah, so that's just an overview of the kiosk. I'm going to switch to my Storm and put some other pets in there, because these are the pets that I feel like people are really going to be looking at, are my Storm pets. So let me go over there. Crocotopia loading in. I mean, it's a nice loading screen though. I will give them that. So let me go over to... I actually haven't even been on my Storm since the new update. Let's go over to the pet hatchery and put in some good pets, because on my Storm, I definitely could put in a lot of my pets, if not all of them. So we'll go look at that. I'm actually super far away from the pet hatchery. I don't know why. I was in Crocotopia because we were doing the zigzag dungeon. Okay, we made it. So for my Storm Wizard, let's see how many pets that I have that could be offered into the kiosk. As you can tell, that's a lot more than on my life, because these pets aren't crowns, or if they are crowns, they're allowed in the kiosk. There's only certain ones that are allowed. I'm just gonna offer a bunch of these. So here we go. These are some of my, these are the bad ones. These are some of my just ones that I've used in the past to, I feel like these are fails. A lot of these are fails. Yeah, these are fails. This one I actually used a lot. Prince Spike, this was one of my original storm pets, which had fairy and crit. I mean, it was okay. It was an okay pet. I could put it in there. I don't know if people would hatch with it. But I've got some storm mortals and some rancors that I used to get my current rancor. But here we go, Rex. This is the one that I know people are going to want to hatch with, so I'm going to put that in the kiosk. It's triple crit and double damage. It's basically triple damage with the jewel, but it does have dealer in there, so I will put that up on the kiosk for people that want to hatch with it. So look for Clamoring Gulcher Rex if you want to hatch with this one. Max stat on that with 10 dealer and pretty high crit. So there you go, Rex is in the kiosk. Samson, this one's pretty good. This is a tiger, Ivanko's tiger that has block though. I don't know if people want block, but if you want block, it's in there. My other best pet, this is probably the best pet that I have. I mean, come on. The Gulcher's really good, but Zeus just looks so nice with the talents that he has. So Zeus is a max stat rancor with basically triple double stats. So there you go. I'm gonna put Rex in there too, and or Zeus in there too. Rex is already in there. Zeus will be my other pet that I'm sure people want to hatch with. So putting that in the kiosk as well. If I wanted to just fill up the rest of this, I could put in this one just in case people want it. I don't really have any other good ones. I feel like people wouldn't hatch with this. Make cast amplify, but it's my only other good one. So here you go. There you go. So those are all in there, and those will go until 1 week from today. Basically, yeah, basically 1 week. And how many pets can you put in the kiosk? Was it 5? I'm not sure. Or is it 10? 2, 4, 5. I think it's 10. You can put like 10 pets in the kiosk and have them all going at once. And if you have good pets and people are hatching with them, you're going to get a lot of the hatching peppers. So there you go. This is a quick overview of the Hatchmaking Kiosk, and showing you guys that I've got some pets in there if you want to check them out. Unfortunately, I can't put my best pets in there for my life because they're crowns, but hey, my storm has good pets that are the school pets. So that's your best bet if you want really good pets, is to look at the school pets or the hybrid school pets, because I feel like people are going to be putting a lot of those in the kiosk, and you'll be able to find them if you look hard enough for those. So like for instance, the Kookaburra is a good one for life. Let me look at that. I just saw it. Kookaburra, this one's life school only, so you would have to be life to train it, but I'm sure there's some good Kookaburras in here. I mean, Tara's got a really good Kookaburra as well. So just take a moment to look through it. I hope someday they make it so that, what is Green Thumb? Make us Sanctuary, that's interesting. I hope someday that they make it so that you can kind of filter it a little better, but for now this is what we got. And here's a Ward Kookaburra with, oh, it has Enfeeble though. But all you gotta do is take some time to look through it, and hopefully you find one that you want. That'll be pretty good. What is that? May cast a Life Bat. Not a pet that I would go for, but I'm sure there's some super interesting pets in here. So I'm not gonna go for any much longer on this video. I just wanted to kind of show you guys that overview and let you know that I have some pets in there if you want to hatch with them. If a lot of people hatch with them super quickly on my storm, then I will try to put them back in there, and people can hatch with them again. There's actually a 1 hour cooldown on once the pet hits 10 hatches, or if you get to a 1 week in the kiosk. So, but I'll try to keep filtering them in to the hatchery if people want to do that. So there you go. That's it for the Hatchmaking Kiosk. I feel like this is probably one of the best things that they added to this update, just by the sheer fact that there's a ton of pets in there, and you're gonna have a lot of variety if you want to look for a specific one. So hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.